But keeping your peace in the midst of big, hard life challenges, it's really, really hard. You know the saying that we make plans and God just laughs? That is really how I feel like my life has gone the last few years, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay laughing because I am that type A control freak, perfectionist, or recovering perfectionist personality with such big ambitions and dreams and ideas, and I feel like I know what to do to make all those things happen. But the crazy part is that that is just not my life right now. 2020 was super hard for me. 2021 was even harder. And then I thought 2022 was gonna be like my big year where everything came back together. And instead, it all just fell apart all the more, which then would normally make me want to get really excited for 2023 and pin all my big hopes on coming to fruition this year. Instead, I'm bracing myself because it really feels like this year could be my hardest one yet. Enter exhausted in the comments if you can relate. The last few years have just kind of done me in. I think you can see if you look back through the progression of recent videos that I had posted that I was and still am really struggling to keep up with everything when I have these much bigger, harder, emotional family things going on in the background. And so while I will be continuing to set goals and make plans and have future videos on my plans for 2023, the reality is that I am starting this year feeling kind of discouraged, definitely behind, and just like, wow, you know, what am I supposed to do with my life? I'm laughing so much inside because I started this channel thinking that I had a lot of things figured out. I'm Amber, and I started Solutions for Simplicity because I've been on a crazy journey the last several years. What I discovered was that there are many, many, many simple things we can do, both internally and in our external actions, that bring more simplicity to our lives. And that simplicity has felt so good. I just saw a dramatic difference in what simplicity did for me. And I really have optimism now that anybody can do this. And I know life always throws us curveballs, and I knew even back then that whenever you start to think you've got it all figured out, you're gonna get, caught off guard by new changes. And so life is just about learning and growing and evolving. Nothing is ever staying the same. And that's a good thing. But darned if I just feel like I haven't eaten my words over the last few years. I think I've over 150 videos now on this channel with actionable advice for ways that we busy mamas can get our lives together and plan and prioritize and organize and just try and keep up with it all, right? So if you too are juggling many different things, then I want to be the place for you. This is a community of ambitious, hardworking women with big dreams on their heart who are looking for ways to pursue their calling while being the best wife and mother that they can be. What's so crazy to me is that all of the things that I have previously implemented, it's not that they don't work. It's just that I don't have the capacity in my life right now to keep up. Although I heard a really helpful piece of advice the other day, I can't remember which podcast it was on, but saying, we shouldn't ever say that we feel behind, because that basically makes it look like life is a race. And it's not. This is our own journey. It's not about keeping up with anyone else. It's not even about keeping up with where you want to be. It's about accepting where you are and enjoying the process as your life unfolds. We've got to be active participants, but a lot of times, at least in my very limited experience, action is more and more looking like acceptance and just being okay with what is instead of constantly striving to make it different or better or fix all of the problems, right? I consider myself such a fixer. I want to make everything better. I want a solution for every problem. And I'm convinced that there is a solution. But that doesn't mean that you or I have to be the one that resolves everything. Sometimes we just need to trust, and it's going to all work out. Enter yes it will with an exclamation mark down in the comments if you too truly believe that is the case. So what are things going to look like moving forward in terms of this channel and my ability to show up? Believe me, I am not letting this go for anything. Don't you worry. I've said it before. I will continue to shout it out. This is what I do for me. This is my creative outlet. This is how I take care of myself because I get so much joy from making these videos, connecting with you, sharing what I've learned, sharing my struggles. So I am going to continue to show up here, ideally much more regularly than I was able to over the past few months. I have so many more ideas, but for the short term, the next 6 months or so, you can expect to see a lot more videos of me showing you behind the scenes of how I prioritize, what I'm trying to keep up with, how I am planning out what I am going to do and how I'm going to keep up with it in the midst of the hard things going on in the background. I will continue to put out videos with very concrete, actionable tips and advice, but there will also be a lot of just heart-to-heart chats where I want to share the lessons and the takeaways that I am learning. I have a very big milestone birthday coming up in February. I'm turning the big 4-0. I'm kind of in denial about it, but I'm also excited in a way. It just feels like a big moment of opportunity, but also reflection to look back and take the wisdom I have gotten from all these many, many years and all the wrinkle lines and scars and, things that I have to show for it, the gray hair, goodness. I've learned a lot and I want to honor that. I want to embrace who I am now because I wouldn't be this person without all of those hard things. And kind of package it up just into these conversations that I love having with you. And I want this again to be a community of women that understands that where we are is not any reflection on who we are and how wonderful we are, how perfectly we are made, all the great things we are capable of. What we do does not define us. It doesn't change our value or our worth. And it is so good to strive to reach your ambitions. But there is also, as I am all the more aware now, there's this element of just acceptance and surrender and trying to pare back all the craziness in your life so that you can get back to simplicity, back to what matters most. The goal of this channel originally, right? Solutions for Simplicity was about finding ways to live a simpler, more peaceful and productive life. But keeping your peace in the midst of big, hard life challenges, especially when you are stressed out at work, not sleeping because you're up many times a night with young kids, you're overwhelmed by the mess around you and needing to do so much on your home, and there's just more to do than time to do it. It's really, really hard to keep up and be your best self in those moments. And so I'm just, again, trying to take deep breaths, trying to stay positive, really working on my prayer life and my mindset and remembering that as much as I worry, God's got this all worked out, right? And yes, I have such big dreams, especially for this channel. I'm so grateful for how much traction my business has gotten at this point, but I'm also needing to refocus and just, pull it back to focusing on my health, focusing on my immediate family, dealing with these bigger, harder family issues in my extended family. And then, at least for the first part of the year, I just need to focus in on work and the big moving parts of my business, which, as you hopefully know, is something I do above and beyond my day job as a professor. And then my big plans, my big hopes are that come summer, I can turn my focus more towards all the things I've wanted to do for so long. Again, more on those coming in a future video. But for right now, I would really encourage you to step back. And as we start this year, or it's already started, what is it, January 9th today? I feel so behind where I normally am, but that's my situation right now, right? Embracing reality. I would encourage us to just acknowledge that for the time being, if you too are in a season of hardship, then let's not push ourselves. We need to just keep as much white blank space as possible to accommodate these unknowns until we have more information, or until they are resolved, or until we have more capacity to bring back the things that we would otherwise want to be filling our lives with. So that's the quote unquote plan moving forward. Make sure that you have signed up for some of my great free resources, because then you get put on my email list where I share even more advice, tips, special opportunities, and glimpses into the behind the scenes of my life. And follow me on Instagram, because I'm always showing up on stories there. And if you have ideas of topics you want me to cover, or videos you want me to make, things you want me to talk more about or less about, then let me know in the comments. I love connecting with you. Gosh, I love this so much. So I will be here. I will be sharing my journey. I will be providing more tips. I will be telling you what works and what to avoid, and lots more coming as I'm able to get it up here. But deep breaths, lots of love, lots of encouragement. Let me know if you can relate, and I will see you back in another video. Have a great day. Bye.